Hey, welcome to the Johnny Allen 30-Minute Podcast. I am Johnny Allen. Happy New Year. Can you believe it's 2023? Let's get into this. Yes, again, I am Johnny Allen, and this is the 30-Minute Podcast. And if you're new to my channel, all I do here, guys, is I talk about everyday life situations. I just kind of share what goes on in my life. I'm just kind of an average guy and drink a little coffee. We kind of touch on some of the current events, have guests appear once in a while. We just talk about just about anything and everything, really. And that's all I do, just like sitting down at your neighborhood Starbucks or coffee shop and having some coffee. Speaking of coffee and talking about current events, like I said, let's get the coffee out. All right, let's have a little swig. Toast to the new year. I've been trying different coffees out. The last time before I went on my vacation or my little getaway, I was drinking Black Rifle coffee. I gave that away as gifts. I really like that coffee. But we're going to try something. We try something, different all the time. And today, it's the old school Hills Brothers, right? So, Hills Brothers, I got it on sale at Menards. What the heck? Everything's getting so dang expensive these days. You got to cut when you can to, keep your budget balanced and try to just, save as much as you can, right? Really, basically, we're all on budgets, and unless you're one of those mega millionaires that doesn't care about a budget, but unfortunately, I'm not there yet. I'm on a budget. So, we're going to try this Hills Brothers. I'll let you know. What's in my cup right here is actually Maxwell House. But I am going to go get some Black Rifle coffee too, but we'll review the Hills Brothers next week. Okay, without further ado, it's January the 6th, 2023. I mean, I just can't believe, I talk about this all the time, but I cannot believe how fast time is going. It blows my mind. Next month, February 28th, I will be 59 years old. I'm 1 year pushing 60, guys. Can you believe that? I mean, I can't believe it. It seems like yesterday. My dad just celebrated his 80th birthday in November. God love him. He's still doing really good. My wife just celebrated her 66th. God love her. She's doing good. And my mom is coming up in March. She'll be 80. It's hard to believe. And a scary statistic I read just a couple days ago, that the average lifespan of Americans, anyway, has gone down since COVID. The average lifespan for a woman, a female, is 80 years old. The average lifespan for a male is 75. So it just keeps on pushing. And I don't mean to say that as a negative or whatever, but, really enjoy life. I always say that all the time. Enjoy every minute that's given to you because nothing is guaranteed. And things can change just like that. Right? We talk about. Did you watch the last Monday night game? Right? Did you seen what happened on Monday Night Football? Right? God love number 3 from Buffalo Bills. He's doing better. I said prayers for him. It was a horrible thing that happened. I don't think it's ever happened something like that tragic on a field football play ever since I can remember watching football. I don't know. But I'm glad he's doing better. I just heard a report from the Bills staff, and God love that young man, that he's recovering, and we know prayers and thoughts are with him and the family and everybody associated with him. The point I'm trying to make with that is, and even before that happened, we just don't know. Like I said, it's a snap of a finger, and like I said, I've talked about this many times on my podcast, life can change drastically. I take nothing for granted. You know, if you guys have been following me, the ones that have followed me, my subscribers, I have a close knit of subscribers, right? Because I'm not a large channel, but that's okay. We keep it intimate here, and I just got my little crew that follows me or whatever. I don't even say crew. It's family and friends and close friends that follow the channel. Know a little bit about my health issues I've been battling with the third nerve palsy, the COVID, the vasculitis. All that stuff is scary, right? Like I said, you just don't know. You don't know. I was fine in October, 2 weeks before Halloween last year. I was good. Everything was good. And then in a couple of days, my eyes shut down. I talked about that in a previous episode. Point I'm trying to make is take nothing for granted. Nothing for granted. You never know, guys. I mean, you got this football player, right? 24 years old, healthy, athletic, loves what he's doing, got the dream job, you know what I mean? I mean, most people that are professional athletes love what they're doing, even though there's obviously lots of risk. But he's just going out doing a routine, quote-unquote routine game, right? He's out, pumped up, Monday night, big game, and one tackle, and he's out. And I mean out, right? So you just don't know. Lucky to be alive. I mean, lucky to be alive. And that's with everything. There's all kinds of things that can happen in the world that you think, oh my gosh, I am lucky that, you know, I made it out of this situation, right? So again, the prayers are great, and I want to talk about prayers real quick. You know, I believe in prayer highly, recommend it highly. And it's funny, the way this nation is these days, you know, God gets a bad rap, Christianity gets a bad rap, quote-unquote religion gets a bad rap, right? And I'm not going to get into all that, but, you know, when this young man got really injured, severely, I mean, he actually died on the field, right? When they administer CPR, that's because your heart stopped. So it's amazing how everybody came forward, and even the networks, ESPN, everybody, and they all said, we need to stop and pray for this man. We need to stop and pray. We need to stop and pray. Prayers, prayers, prayers. It's like, hallelujah. You guys get it. And, you know, with me, I pray all the time. And I'm not starting this podcast off with saying, hey, I'm a Bible thumper or anything like that. And I'm not. I have my faith, and I believe in my faith very highly. But there's nothing, I guess what the bottom line is what I'm trying to say, there's nothing wrong with prayers. Nothing wrong with prayers. You know, it is absolutely nothing wrong with it. I pray every day, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. But anyway, I'm glad to see that prayers were recognized in this situation. And I think we need to recognize prayers more often. And if you're already praying in a person of faith, you know, I commend you. God love you. You know, we're kind of a rare breed. But when something tragic happens, immediately people go for prayer. It's a good thing. It's not bad. All right, going on with my talking notes. We're going to talk about the new year. We're going to talk about what I did the last few weeks. Okay, I've been off the last few weeks because I went on holiday travels, visited family on the East Coast, actually New Jersey. I'll briefly talk about that, share that with you guys real quick. The wife and I went on the Wednesday before Christmas. We were gonna take off and go to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Stopped for the night, 2 nights actually. I've never been out to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania during Christmas time. Saw the lights. It was all good. It was all good. Started off though, like I said at the beginning of the saying, it started off a little shaky. So with all these weird influenzas going around, COVID, I mean, we got all kinds of bugs going around, right? It's that time of year. I think it's more amped up now. That's a whole nother podcast. But anyway, we go to take off on Wednesday morning before Christmas. And I'm having, I might well say, a little bit of an intestinal flare-up, if you get what I'm saying. Wasn't sure if I was going to be able to make it. And by the grace of God, I made it all the way out there without having any issues, if you know what I mean. But I got to Gettysburg, looking forward to it, and I basically felt like, I mean, to say it bluntly, I felt kind of like shit. I don't normally use the language, but I felt pretty bad, okay? I felt pretty bad. But I was a trooper. I was determined that I am going to not lay in the hotel room until this thing wears off. I'm going to get out and explore, and we're going to go. The wife and I walked around. I'll share some pictures. The square. We managed to go to the Blue and Gray restaurant there. I managed to eat a little bit of it, watch my wife really enjoy her food, which I was glad. I enjoyed a little bit of my food. I almost ate about 85% of it, and it stayed down. Everything was good. We went to the Doblin House. Very nice. Nice place. If you've never been to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, even if you're not a Civil War person or you're not into history, the town of Gettysburg is a nice, quaint little town with some gift shops, some nice restaurants. If you're traveling through, you're heading east, and you're close, I suggest stopping by. Another drink of coffee. Guys and gals out there, I really do appreciate you stopping by my channel. I know I haven't done a podcast for a while, but we're going to amp it up now that the holidays are over and things are getting back to normal, what I perceive as normal. But anyway, like I said, kudos and prayers with the Bill's safety number 3. Glad he's doing better. That's blessings. Holidays, like I said, traveled out to Gettysburg, got through it. It was okay. Then we had the cold front. Continue on with my little holiday travel. Then we had a cold front coming in. We were leaving Friday morning to go to family, visit family, and family's in New Jersey. So I'm about 3 hours away. So I'm wanting to beat the cold front because at this time Gettysburg is still above freezing. It's still above freezing in New Jersey. So I just wanted to get ahead of it because it was raining. It was starting to freeze. Thankfully, it was a little iffy. It was kind of scary driving, but it was pouring down rain all the way out there. With a degree or 2 difference, could have froze, but thankfully it didn't. We got out there, and when we got out there, got settled in. My wife and I went to a local grocery store to pick up some food. And it started snowing, wet snow, a lot. And I said, you know what? I started feeling better. We got to our destination, started wet snowing. The roads weren't slick or anything. And I told her, I said, this is Christmas. And then the Christmas spirit and holiday spirit just started setting in. I thought, yeah, let it snow. We had a nice visit with family out there for 5 days. It was real laid back. Our family that we visited, he got sick. He wasn't feeling good. So I'm just getting over mine. He's starting to get sick. It's something different than what I had, though. But we made it through it. He was a trooper. I was a trooper. My wife so far was good, but we started to head home. We stopped in Washington, Pennsylvania for the night, and my wife is getting the same thing her son, we visited her son, that her son was getting, or has at the time. So she was getting the same thing, feeling really bad, the sore throat, the headache and everything. We tested for COVID. No one had COVID. It wasn't COVID. But anyway, just a bug, right? And she felt horrible. And I made it to the hotel, and I drove it the next day, Thursday. I came in Thursday after Christmas, before the New Year, made it home. So we get home Thursday afternoon. I turn in a rental car. I try to get her recouped. I'm feeling better at this point. But see, our holiday's not over yet, our visit. We have to go see my family now. So they're 60 miles away from where we live. So we're home for 2 days. We're supposed to go the next day, which would have been on a Friday. We postponed to Saturday because of my wife. I'm just letting you guys know this because this is what happens, right, in life. So I'm sharing a little bit of life. So we're going through these bumps, but we're still making it happen. So we determined there's no COVID, no fever for the wife. She's feeling a little bit better, so we're trucking down to my folks' house. We're having Christmas with my family, all of them but my kids. That's still to come. So anyway, we have a nice get-together. My wife is a trooper. She makes it through there, just like I was at the beginning of our holiday travels. And lo and behold, my mother gets sick on the Saturday right before New Year's. She gets sick in the middle of the night, really bad. We don't know what's going on. I thought we were going to have to take her to the hospital, but it was a 24-hour thing, and she got over it. And I'll be darned if the next day I didn't get what she had. So we plan on coming home on last Monday, and we don't, this past Monday, and we don't get home till Tuesday. So anyway, it was a little bit of a fiasco, and I'm feeling good now. Wife's getting better. Like I said, things are kind of getting back to normal. So that was my holiday escapades in a nutshell. Anyway, shared that with you. So anyway, like I said, don't take life for granted, right? Don't take anything for granted, because you plan these things out, and you think, I'm just going to go, and things are great, and, things happen, right? Things happen. So if anything like that happened to you over the holidays, it was kind of weird or indifferent or even good, share them in the comments. I appreciate that.
I never take anything. I never take anything for granted. All right. So before we get going, I want to do a shout out to Sir Charles. You guys, we texted each other over the holiday. Hope everything's going good. We're gonna have breakfast together sometime here soon and catch up on things. Hopefully you're doing good, my friend, and all my other close friends that are out there. I hope you're doing good. We'll catch up now that the holidays are over. So it is 2023. So you guys think, I don't know.
And all my other close friends that are out there. I hope you're doing good. We'll catch up now that the holidays are over. So it is 2023. So you guys think, I don't know. Do you guys plan? Do you make New Year's resolutions? I don't do New Year's resolutions anymore. I used to, but you know what? I don't ever really follow them. They never plan, and they never turn out the way I plan. Okay, like I would do a New Year's resolution. Okay, I'm going to be in the best shape that I can possibly be in. I'm going to be financially make more money. My music career is going to soar. All these things. I'm going to make this happen. It just seems like there was always some kind of bump in the road where that never would happen. And so I'm just done doing resolutions. But I do have plans and goals that I set. Okay? So real quickly, 2023 goals for me. The first thing is I am working on getting healthy. That's the most important thing, is being healthy, right? If you are not healthy, you cannot do anything. Period. Nothing. So I'm working on trying to get my health in line. And I got some doctor's appointments coming up and getting the teeth cleaned and just general health, just getting healthy, trying to stay as healthy as possible through all this stuff. That's my number one plan, because without that, nothing. As far as the music front goes, I'm going to write a little bit more. I'm going to get back in here and create some more music. I'm basically going to kind of fart around with it, for lack of terms. A lack of terms. I'm gonna putz around, fart around with my music and see what I can come up with. I have done some submissions, which I'm going to get into in a minute, with some of our music, and I'll let you know how that went. But anyways, I'm just going to kind of write and just create stuff. Like I said, I might invite some of my music buddies to come over and do some stuff with me, help me write or whatever. But that's basically health, number one. Number two, write some stuff. If we can get it together as far as like everybody stays healthy and maybe pick up a few gigs this summer, I'm not sure yet. I'm not looking that far ahead because I just don't know. I just really don't know. But I do want to do music as far as playing. But speaking of the Crossroads Saints, we did have a positive over my break. Over a week or so ago, we had 2 songs featured on Tony Kornheiser's podcast. So you can look up the back episodes. I think it was the week right before it was the Monday right after Christmas. They played 2 of our tunes. Okay? Check that out. And thank you, Tony Kornheiser. I don't know if he watches my podcast, but if you do, I appreciate you and Nigel. Daryl submits these songs to him. They pick it right up. Daryl does an excellent job of writing stuff out, setting it up, all the notes to the show. And they have been great. They have been great. I appreciate all the good compliments that Tony Kornheiser actually said about our music. It's fantastic. So that was a positive. I loved it. Thank you, Daryl, if you're watching, for getting the songs out there to Tony. And I'll elaborate a little bit more on that towards the end, where I'm getting to on the music thing. So, but anyway, health, and that's the main thing. And then the next thing, too, guys. Wow, I know I'm rambling a little bit. Got a lot of catching up to do. The next thing as far as 2023 on the horizon for me, like I said, number 1 is health. Number 2 is be financially stable. Now, I just retired from the Ascension Health back last year, September 6th. And the way things are going up and the money and all that, it's very delicate, right? And I know that probably my plan is to take a year off, which would be September 6th of this year. And I'm going to go out and get some part-time, I call grub work, just a little part-time job to kind of help supplement things, because I'm not quite there yet. 62 years old, I'm going to take my Social Security, and I'll probably be done altogether with working. At least that's my plan. right now doing okay, but financially, everybody is in a pinch, unless you're just one of these people that are way up there and totally wealthy. I mean, I went to the store today, got 2 bags of groceries, 2.5 bags, over $40, and I did the bargain shopping. It's just everything is very expensive, and it's always going up. So financially secure. I'm looking at that. I'm meeting with my financial advisor at the end of this month, and we're going to do some stuff with the funds. Stock market today, as I'm recording this, did go back up, which is good. But anyway, health and financial security. I think that's all anybody really wants, is health and financial security. And that's what I'm working on. Do I want to be rich? That was something when I was young. I mean, that's kind of a silly question, right? You want to be rich? And a lot of people, yeah, of course. Am I going to beat my head to the wall, and beat my head up against the wall, rather, to get rich? No. Basically, all I want is financial. I want to live the lifestyle I'm living now, maybe even more simpler. I live pretty simple now, but just want to be able to survive, have, what I have now. I have plenty of things. I don't need any more things. I got enough stuff, as George Carlin used to say. Just keep the ship sailing without sinking. Just keep it afloat above the water without having any holes in the bottom and leaking water. That's where I want to be financially. That's where I'm at financially now. That's where I want to continue. Okay. Like I say, over Christmas time, I did spend a little extra money, which I knew it because we planned trips and stuff. So it's kind of like my finances is like this. It's like the stock market. Didn't it bump down where I ate a little bit of the money, and now I'm going to go like this. It cut back. But anyway, basically what I'm saying in a nutshell, guys, is financial stability, tight budgets, be careful while you spend, just financial responsibility with money. And especially when you're on fixed incomes, you got to really be careful. So that's where I'm at right now. And with that being said, it rolls into the next thing, right? Tax time around the corner. So when you first retire, you have to pay your taxes on top of all your investment. You basically get taxed almost 4 times, guys. You get taxed on the money you make at the job while you're at the job, right? That's number one. They pull it out before you even get your check. Number 2, you're putting away investments. If you're doing that, okay, that's great. So you put that money in investments, and they don't tax that for a while. But then when you get to be in your 60s or early 60s and you want to start taking some of that money, boom, you get taxed again. They pull 20% out, right? So there's 3 times. And then if you have extra income, like added extra income, like my income from what I've taken out is probably almost doubled, so I'll have to pay extra on extra income. Puts me in a different tax bracket. So I'll probably have to pay again. So there's 4 times you get hit on your money. 4 times. Thank you, government, right? You get hit 4 times on your money. Taxed 4 times. And then when you go to the grocery store or Menards or wherever you're going, any store, especially like in Indiana, right? You go to the store, and guess what? Your money's already, okay, so my money's been taxed 4 times since I was working, 4 times. So I take the money that I have out of my savings for survival, that's already been taxed 4 times, and I go buy goods, and guess what? 7% sales tax, it gets it again. There's 5. And you wonder why average people like myself can't get ahead in the world, right? My money that I worked for originally has got taken from 5 times by the U.S. government or the state government. It's a wonderful thing. I say that tongue-in-cheek, and I say that with sarcasm. But comment below on that, too, tax time. And I don't know how bad it will be, so I have to put it back and save it, which I haven't. But it's just a shame how they do that. They get you coming and going. Our ancestors, European ancestors anyway, 200-plus years ago, left England because of taxation. And like I told you, I had got hit at least 5 times. By the time you work, comes out of your check, goes into retirement, take it out of retirement, added income tax because of you earn more money, so you got more money, so let's go ahead and do that again. And then when you go buy your stuff, taxed again. Same old government. And speaking of same old government, the Republicans can't get it together in office. Comment below on that. I mean, come on. If you're a Republican, you've been voting for a balanced government You want the checks and balances, right? I talked about that in the past. I vote for the person that does the best job. I don't affiliate with any party, right? So, but the Republicans can't get together. They can't even get a House Speaker. Maybe that'll happen by the next week. I don't know. But the thing is, same old government. I got it in my notes right here. Same old government. Right? Comment below on anything I got to say. Same old government. So with the 7% tax, and it's nothing against Hills Brothers. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's good coffee. But you got to buy like Hills Brothers or, something a little less expensive. But it's coffee. I mean, with me, coffee's coffee, right? People say, well, this coffee's better, that coffee's better. To me, I don't know. I'm just thankful to have coffee. Like I said, I don't take anything for granted. And I don't. Same old government. Okay, so we're going to change a little bit. Thanks again for stopping by, guys. I hope everybody's doing good. It's 2023 started off kind of bumpy with my family, with the health issues and then the tragic thing that happened to the Buffaloes player. But at least he survived and he's doing better. So that's good news. So maybe we're turning the corner. Things are going to get better, right? I hope. But it just started off with the cold in the Midwest. I mean, the Arctic and all that stuff. It just started off pretty rough, but I think it's getting better. Okay, a little update, switching gears. Before I went on my holiday break and from the podcast and traveling and whatnot, I sent some footage, UFO footage I shot back in September last year to Secure Team, Tyler's Secure Team. The update on that, I have not heard anything yet. I hope that he got it. I know that he's pretty good about sharing that stuff. I'm anxious for him to see it. So if he hasn't got it, there's a possibility that he didn't get it. So if I don't hear anything from him, I'm going to send it back next week to Tyler, and we'll see what happens because that's pretty exciting stuff. All right, guys. So I hope you're doing good. It's good to be back on the podcast. I do have some guests lined up. We're gonna have the guest on pretty soon, and it'll be interesting to talk to these people. They got different perspectives on things than I do with certain topics, but it's good to bounce it off of each other. All right, I'm going to lead, since I'm a musician, and I talked about original music that I've done for years with my brother and with other musicians, and some by myself. I've submitted music to some of these companies for placements and TV and stuff. Basically, if you're not familiar with that, they take it. They like your music. They take it. They put it on a TV show, or they put it on like Tony Kornheiser put on his radio podcast show. They just use your music, and a lot of times you get paid for that. And that's what I was hoping to do, to get paid for it. Still am. But anyway, I've been submitting music for a while. But some of these companies, I went back to this company called Music X-Ray. I have nothing against them personally. I found out about them about 10 years ago. I thought, pretty good company, I guess. I had some good feedback from them years ago, but I never had a song placed anywhere with them. And these companies are companies that you have to pay a submission fee. You pay $10, $5, sometimes even up to $35 for an industry expert quote. And again, this is not bashing Music X-Ray. This is just from my own personal experience as a musician. So you submit these songs to a music industry expert, right, quote unquote, and they give you feedback on it. And hopefully they pick it up and you can make pretty good dime from it. And there's been people that have been successful with it. But since I started this right before Christmas, I started right after Thanksgiving, between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Okay, after Thanksgiving and before I went on my trip, right before Christmas, I had submitted 5 songs. I did 5 submissions with 2 songs. And these have been country songs and blues songs. And I'm going to play the country song at the end of my podcast, and you guys tell me what you think about the song. I'm not saying I'm a genius musician or a genius songwriter or anything like that, but I think my music is not too bad, and I'll let you guys be the judge. I'll play the song at the end of the podcast. Comment below and tell me what you think. It's the only country song, true country song that I've ever written because I'm a rock and roll guy. I've written heavy metal stuff. Country's not my forte, but I did write one. And it's called "Cried the Blues Away." And I sent this song out to various people, and basically I'm just getting negative. It's okay, but it doesn't fit. It's okay, but it doesn't do this. But it's okay. I had one out of the 5 submissions of the song. I had one positive, and I don't even know if it was Cry the Blues Away. It was another song called Shades of Blue, which I'll do that. I'll put that to the end of my podcast next one. So I submitted 2, Shades of Blue and Cry the Blues Away. Shades of Blue is more of a Pink Floyd-ish blues song, really. And it's got fantastic guest musicians on it. I'll play it next week for you guys, next podcast. But anyway, what I'm getting at with these submissions is, and I've read different reviews on them, some negative, some positive. Then I'll go over the negative ones first with Music X-Ray. And this is not a bash to them. But a lot of people think that these organizations are a scam. That they're just taking your money and saying, oh, it's okay, it's not okay, whatever. Oh, keep submitting because, you're going to get picked up. And people are spending, I dropped almost $100 on these 5 songs. I can't afford to keep doing that. I've got a different avenue I'm going to take, and I'll talk about that when it comes up. But, I can't do that. For them to come back and just say, not my thing. I had one guy, his name was Andy. I'll leave out his last name. He's a music, wizard. Industrial expert, they call him, which I don't know really what that means either, right? Who makes somebody an expert and somebody else not an expert, right? I don't. Anyway, that's a whole other podcast. So anyway, just shot down. Shades of Blue actually had some positive response, like the vocals, like the feel of it. But basically getting nowhere in a nutshell. Nowhere. So these companies just grabbing your money and saying, thanks, but no thanks. Is it a big scam? Is it like playing the lottery? Like, well, you keep buying the ticket and hoping that you hit it, but, you may spend $3,000 or $4,000 before you win 5, right? So that is the predicament I'm at now. If there's any singer-songwriters out there that are doing this kind of thing and have more knowledge of how to get your songs placed, please comment below, let me know. But it's been a bit of a discouragement with Music X-Ray. And, you got Taxi and some few others, and I thought about maybe Taxi. But like I said, now Taxi's charging you $300 just to join. So, I don't really know. So you come up with some really good material, some good music that I know people can use on there. Matter of fact, the bumper music to my podcast is called The Slam. I wrote that entirely on my own piece of music, and that's all it is. And it's been used on other podcasts. I use it on mine. Now you tell me somebody can't use that on something. I don't know. I'm like I said, I'm not the best writer in the world. I'm not, the best musician in the world. But I got some tunes out there that I think that could be used on something. I just don't feel like that, all these tunes can be just dismissed. Is it really a scam? That's the question. Comment below if you guys are into that thing. I'd like to know. And again, I'm going to play Cry the Blues Away at the end of the podcast. Let me know what you think. This coffee is not too bad. Like I said, it's Maxwell House. I don't know. What are you guys drinking these days? I only had one beer while I was on the holidays, back to my holiday, because I'm just trying to stay healthy. And I just don't know if the alcohol would mess it up or not. But anyway, I'm about ready to get off of here, guys. It's good to be back. I feel pretty good today. I feel a lot better. Praise Jesus. Praise the Lord. People give the Lord and people give Jesus and people give God a bad rep. Why? I don't know. I don't understand it. Why not? If you follow the teachings of Jesus, it's all good. Nothing bad. There's nothing bad about it. It's good life lessons. If you don't go to church, well, it's fine, whatever. But it's just good lessons. And the older I get, the more I am just in tune with the faith. And prayers work. If you don't believe it, ask number 3 on the Buffalo Bills. If prayers don't work, ask his family. Prayers work. Anyway, I'm going to close. Check out Cry the Blues Away. I'm going to put the song on here. I hope you guys are having a great New Year so far. It's hard to believe we're 6 days into it. I don't know. I just don't know. It's crazy, right? And when I retired from the healthcare industry, I thought, well, when I retire, I think time might go a little slower because I'm not getting up. You're not doing a routine, really. I got a little routine, but face it, when you're retired, it's not like getting up and had to go to work, punch the clock and all that. I thought time went fast when I was working. Time is going faster now that I'm not working. It's crazy. Anyway, you guys take care. be good to each other. We pray for this world. I'm still praying for these people in Ukraine, in China. The world's a scary place, but we got to enjoy it every day we have. Continue to pray. Continue to, be friendly to one another. Do all these things. Let me know what you think about Cry the Blues Away, and let me know if you're a musician or songwriter and you're doing what I'm doing and you're submitting songs and you keep getting this, block. I mean, are some of these places, agencies, really a scam? They're out making a bunch of money. I mean, gosh, I could go and say I'm a music industry professional. Send me your song for $20, $25. And I tell you, well, it's not what I'm looking for. And I just made, in a couple of weeks, I just made $100 off of you. I mean, not a bad gig if you can get it. I hate to sound negative about this, guys, but really, you often wonder what's going on. So I'll catch you guys next week. I'll try to put these up a little more often now that I'm home. Everything's settling down. Stay healthy. One last thing, you just noticed that my local pharmacies and stuff, the cold, flu medicines, everything are like almost off the shelves. It's crazy. There's a lot of flu and stuff going on. A shout out to some of the people that I know from my church group and stuff. They're really sick with flus and stuff. And you guys know who you are that have battled the health problems like myself. I'm just glad and hope that you're feeling better. And like I said, can't get enough of those prayers, right? Look forward to seeing you guys again. Have a safe and glorious rest of your week. Later.